Do you think a Roman legionary ate only bread and lard? You're wrong. When barbarians burned grain trains, when cavalry trampled the surrounding fields, when soldiers began to regard their horses as steaks, that was the time of the rats. Thousands, tens of thousands, they lived under tent floors, in grain sacks, in the folds of cloaks. They were everywhere, and when the food ran out, rats became food. How did Roman soldiers catch rats in the barracks for dinner? A system, a brutal, hungry, efficient system. The Roman army wasn't vegetarian, and it wasn't squeamish. Hunger knows no morals. When the belly is empty, a rat is a delicacy, but catching a rat with your bare hands isn't hunting. It's a circus. The Romans approached the matter with discipline and engineering ingenuity, and today you'll learn how legionnaires turned a rodent infestation into meat rations. First, some numbers. A single camp of 8,000 men housed about 200,000 rats, 25 per soldier. Each rat was 200 grams of protein, 40 kilograms of meat per legion. If you could catch them, the Romans could. Method 1. A trap, not a mousetrap. A rat trap. The Romans wove baskets from willow twigs with a narrow entrance. A rat would enter to take the bait, a piece of lard, a crust of bread, whatever was available, and couldn't get out. A cone-shaped design, 20 baskets per tent. Check in the morning. Each basket held 3 or 4 rats, 50 to 60 rats per tent, 8 tents per cohort. Simple math. Method 2. Water. The Romans would set out large clay amphorae filled with water, cover them with straw, and place a crust of bread on top of the straw. A rat would climb onto the straw, fall into the water, and drown. 3 amphorae in each tent. In the morning, they would gather the catch, wet, heavy rats. They would dry them and scorch them. The third method was the most cunning. Cats, but not domestic ones. The Romans would tame the wild cats that lived in the forests around the camps. They would feed them until they became accustomed. Then the cats would come running into the camp, exterminate the rats, and leave. The soldiers didn't even have to get their hands dirty. The cats did the work for them. They just had to collect the carcasses quickly. But the most effective method was the fourth. Hunting. Yes, hunting rats, but not with a sword. With sticks. The legionnaires formed a line and combed the camp, driving the rats toward a pre-dug pit. The rats fell into the pit. They were collected in sacks. In an hour, 1,000 or 2 rats. This wasn't just a food hunt. It was a military operation, with teams, with flanks, with reserves. And now the human factor. Imagine yourself as a soldier. You've been hungry for 3 weeks. You dream of bread. You dream of pork. And for dinner, a rat. Fried, rat soup. A rat baked in ashes. You pick it up. Small, grey, with a bald tail. You look into its eyes. Small black eyes. You blink and eat it, because hunger is stronger than disgust. And after a month, you don't even blink. A rat is just meat. A little fatty, a peculiar smell, but meat. The stakes. If you don't catch rats, you don't eat. Your comrades catch and eat. You watch them. Your stomach twists. On the 4th day, you start catching rats too. If you don't know how to catch rats, you're taught. Senior soldiers show you how to set up baskets, how to camouflage amphorae, how to build a chain for a corral. If you refuse to eat rats, you're weak, and the weak aren't liked in the legion. You won't get an extra ration of biscuits. You'll starve, or die, or eat a rat. Take your pick. Compare this with other armies. The Greeks disdained rats. They starved. They got sick. They died. The barbarians ate rats, but there was no system. They caught them haphazardly, with their bare hands, and often plundered grain supplies, scattering the rats throughout the camp. Medieval knights considered rats an abomination. They preferred starvation, and they often died during sieges, when there were tons of rat meat around. The Romans, not so. The Romans turned rats into rations, a planned supply of protein, a ritual, because Rome is a system, even in hunger, even in rats, even in what you eat for dinner when there's nothing else. So, the answer to the riddle: how did Roman soldiers catch rats in the barracks for dinner? Basket traps, water amphorae, semi-feral cats, and coordinated raids with sticks, discipline, engineering, and a lack of sentimentality. A rat is not a pest. A rat is 200 grams of protein. A rat is life. You eat a rat. You survive. You move on. You win. Because Rome doesn't ask what you eat. Rome asks, are you full? Go to battle. Now, here's the question I promised you. You order sushi delivery through an app. You don't know what hunger is. Now imagine, a month without food, only rats. What would you choose? pride or a rat? Write in the comments. How many days can you last before you start looking at rats like steak? And subscribe, because in the next video I'll tell you how the Romans marinated and baked these rats. Spoiler: vinegar, garlic, and regret. Don't miss out.